So the Batman basically is really building up to be one of the best Batman movies ever. This funeral scene that Matt Reeves released or WB released just a few days ago is so incredible. There's a lot that really goes into this just 2 minutes or 3 minutes of, a clip, but like there's just so much that's so good about it. The tension, the acting itself, everybody's on point. Just the fact that it's building up to a scene that we actually see in a trailer that is actually kind of spoiled in the trailer to one of the Riddler's first Riddler traps, or at least, from our perspective, one of his first traps that we see. So it's very interesting, all the little parts that go into the scene, because it's a perfect Batman scene when you really think about it. Bruce looking at the kid, knowing exactly what he's going through. That's just like heartbreaking. Him looking at the cops when the cops are talking about the person missing, like literally in a funeral. So they're just talking about it out loud and like everybody can hear it. It's crazy. And, he just doesn't say a word. And I think that's what a lot of people were picking up on, is that, this Batman, or at least this Bruce Wayne, isn't very social. He's not going around, being the socialite that most people would expect him to be, like of course in the Dark Knight trilogy, or even in Michael Keaton's movies. They're very animated. Bruce Wayne's very, very animated. This Bruce Wayne seems to be very subdued, and like, you can see just the pain in his eyes. It's like very, very obvious. Like you can see how he's feeling just by the way he's looking. And of course, once we get around to the part where things start kind of, ramping up, where we start hearing screams in the outside, that's just perfect. The fact that they didn't show the outside, they show like a car coming up to the building and then ramming through, and they only show it from like Bruce Wayne's perspective, is so good, because you get to see where Bruce Wayne's really looking. You get to see where he's focusing. And he's analyzing everything. He's looking at the kid. He's looking at the fucking people up top, making sure nobody's being weird. And of course, he sees somebody being weird, and then he analyzes that the car's coming through. And then of course he goes and saves the kid who's in the way. It's like, he's already putting in the motion things, and he's not even Batman. This is Bruce Wayne. So like, imagine what he would be able to do as Batman, and at least how he would enter a scene and analyze the scene. As Batman. I really like what they did there, and you get a very clear sense of how his Batman would act, or at least react in certain situations, by looking at everything, realizing all the possible options and all the possible outcomes of the situation, and acting on it. And that's like perfect Batman. That's so good. Of course, we get to actually see one of Riddler's first traps. Just based off of the cops' reactions of, him having a bomb on his neck, it doesn't necessarily seem like they're used to this, and I feel like there hasn't really been a lot of potential traps yet, and nobody's really, in my opinion, has said anything about an earlier trap than a trap that we're seeing now. And I know that this character probably is going to be in the movie for a while, and that would be just the perfect opportunity. This movie's 3 hours long. That would be the perfect opportunity, like 50 minutes in or 40 minutes in, to show the first Riddler trap. I think Riddler's going to make his presence known before this trap, and he will of course try to manipulate Batman into doing certain things, but this will be the moment where like it's really Batman versus Riddler, like one of their first meetings, and that's what I'm really excited about. I can't wait to see how they actually implement one of Riddler's traps on screen, and how Batman actually tries to solve it, because spoiler alert, if you don't want to be spoiled, I'll try to skip ahead a little bit. This scene ends like this Batman scene where Batman's trying to solve this this Riddler puzzle. His head blows up. Like, people are saying, "Oh, the car blows up." No. Please look at this actual picture in slow motion, or like this scene in slow motion when Batman's trying to solve the riddle, and he gets blown back by the explosion. That's not the car exploding. It's clearly the guy's head exploding. So Batman didn't do a good job at whatever he was supposed to do here. And, this funeral scene adds to, of course, more shit that we've seen in set photos of Catwoman being there, Carmine Falcone. We see Penguin there. We see basically just the whole cast there. And it's very interesting to see how that's going to unfold before this scene even happens. And, of course, the aftermath of the scene, where we get to see Batman come in and try to solve this Riddler puzzle and fail miserably, because he just doesn't understand, or like something happens that just fucks him up. And that's going to be the very interesting part to see, and I can't wait to see it. This 1 3-minute scene if you put the pieces together from the set photos and from the trailers that show Batman trying to solve the riddle of this guy, it already shows a bigger picture of this like funeral scene that's just going to be fucking immaculate. It's going to be so amazing. And I genuinely cannot wait to see what they do with the first Riddler trap. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more Batman videos in the future. I'm going to be posting so much in February. You guys are going to be fucking blown out of the water. And I can't wait to show what I'm capable of. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in